So here we go, call to order the October 8th, 2025 meeting of the Board of Adjustments. First, we're gonna do the Pledge of Allegiance, yeah? Yeah, that's our flag. Brian? Yeah. You lead, Daddy.
On the spot.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, Eddie. All right, next we'll do roll call of members. Absent tonight are Jake Joe Freon, Mr. Brandon Bennett. Ms. Jamaica, note that everyone else is here, please. Next, we have any public comments for or against the Board of Adjustments?
No one signed up.
Okay, we'll close the public comments. Number 5, I'll accept a motion for the acceptance of the minutes for the September 10th, 2025 meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Brian.
Second.
Second by Eddie. All in favor? Aye. That motion passes. I'll accept the motion for the written decisions for September 10th, 2025. Motion by Eddie.
I'll second.
Second by Brian. All in favor? Aye. That motion passes. First up tonight, we have, first I gotta make an announcement. If anyone's here for zoning review ID PZ 3774.25, which is item C under number 7, that item has been withdrawn. Is that correct, Ms. Jamaica? It's the right item? All right.
Correct.
So first up, we have zoning review ID PZ 3769.25, Lot B for Infinity Investments. Anyone here to stand up? Tell us what you got.
New to this could kick me back in bounds if I do something that's inappropriate here. So what I have is a single lot. It has 2 residences currently on it. The lot has plenty of road frontage, I think 320-ish feet. But I'm just shy of the acreage required for doing a subdivision on it. So I'm requesting a variance to allow each lot to be 0.07 acres short of the required, the current requirement.
Anybody got any questions, comments before I open it up for public hearing?
What's your frontage on Darville?
The frontage on Darville, I believe, is a little over 200 feet and about 110 on Highway 929. I'm sorry, 930.
Okay.
This, I'm gonna call it the house on Dorville. Is that a mobile home?
No, it's a home.
Okay.
Sorry, the house on the corner of Darville and 930 is a house. The one behind it is a mobile home.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, comments? Anyone sign up public comment?
No one signed up.
Okay, we'll close the public comment.
I got a few if anybody else.
Go ahead.
All right.
Floor is yours.
So you thinking 200, is that 200 minus the purchase of the right-of-way?
That's after the purchase of the right-of-way.
So with the right-of-way, 200, okay. On this map we have, it doesn't actually show what the new property line would be. That's why I asked that question. And then, and look at the map you have with the dotted line. I get what you're trying to do. Is there a reason you have to do this? Are you trying to sell them or something like that?
It would give me more flexibility. I would like to put maybe a new home there where the trailer is, but currently it's rental properties.
Yeah.
I think this would actually increase the local property values if I could put something newer, nicer there. And it just gives me more financial freedom moving forward, in addition to hopefully helping out that little street there.
Yes, sir. What do you feel is your hardship?
Just kind of what I stated. It's just
Just the financial side?
limitations on it.
Lance, y'all, I read the denial, but it's just, it's, you don't see the hardship there? Okay.
It doesn't appear to be conducive with the lot sizes in that area either.
Yeah. When you purchase this property, it was only a single lot with, if I can ask this, Mr. Long, let me tell you if I can't. You understood it was a single lot with 2 dwellings on it, non-conforming?
I understood it was a single lot with 2 dwellings. As far as conforming and non-conforming, I didn't go that far into it.
I got you. All right. That's it.
Okay,
I'll call it draw on that.
motion. Any other questions, comments, motions?
My motion's gonna be in the negative to deny. I don't see the true hardship. I get financial, but it's not really something that fits into our hardship needs in this parish per the ordinance.
Okay, we got a motion by Mr. Devon to deny.
I'll second.
Second by Brian. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The variance is denied.
All right, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next, we have zoning review IDPZ 3770.25, The Meadows at Oak Grove, Lot 72. Tell us what we're looking at here.
Good afternoon.
Good
Yes,
afternoon.
so we're applying for a 3-foot variance on the rear building setback for a patio extension, and most of it's for the overhang, just 7 inches is for the actual structure itself.
Okay. Looks like it's already been built.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I'm looking at here.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, it looks like a pretty good overhang in the back.
The reason it got built is we had an approval, an email that said we had a permit, so we proceeded with the work. And then when we went to get our permit inspection, we actually realized the permit wasn't issued. That's kind of why we're here.
That's why the picture shows it to be just framed up,
Yes,
Yes, sir.
mostly. Okay.
We stopped immediately.
And it looks like there's really nothing in your backyard.
Yes, sir, no houses behind us.
Okay. Any questions, comments? Oh, wait, I can't make a motion. Questions or comments?
Contractor,
Yeah,
homeowner? Okay.
Both,
So
both contractors.
behind you's green space, right?
Yes, sir.
If I remember right in subdivision? Okay. And then, you said y'all, the permit, y'all just called the error, so we're here to fix it. So the hardship, you already got a bunch of money in it,
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
and it's financial. I'm taking it.
Any public comment? Okay, we're gonna ask you to sit down. We have somebody make public comment.
All right, I have Jones Sedetol. They do not wish to speak, but they are in support. I have Edwin Sedetol. They wish not to speak, and they're in support. And I have Jessica Wenko, and they wish not to speak, and they're in support. And I have several comments that I'm gonna read into the
Okay.
minutes.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I have one from Aaron Anderson. I am the neighbor next to this property, and I am in favor for this structure to be built with this variance. My name is Aaron Anderson, and I live at 17369 Foxglove Avenue. All right. This one is Jake and Brittany Spear. I am unable to attend the meeting tonight due to work commitments, but I wanted to share that as a neighbor to Mr. Leo, I have no problems with him receiving a variance for his described structure. All right, this is Jan Napoli. All right, when I purchased lot 45 in the Meadows at Oak Grove's first filing, which is across the street from the subject property, I expected the builders and property owners to comply with Ascension Parish development codes and Ascension Parish building codes and regulations to keep our property values high. The deliberate code violations of extending the patio cover closer to the property line not only makes the value diminish of others' properties, but the buildings are also not uniform from an aesthetics aspect. The variance requested is completely self-created. According to the email the builder received concerning the permit approval on 8/14, which was included in the packet and attached. He was put on notice, structure included overhang cannot encroach into the rear setback. And construction was started anyway. There is no evidence that a variance is necessary for the reasonable use of land. The subject property can be easily seen from the Sawgrass Trail as the property backs up to that street and is an eyesore being so close to the back property line. We have building setbacks to keep these types of things from happening. In addition to the diminished property values, what effect will this violation have on drainage for the adjacent neighbors and neighborhood? So I respectfully request that the variance be denied and the project be completed to comply with all Ascension Parish Development and Building codes and regulations due to this deliberate code violation. All right, the last one, okay. This is Warren Brad Mallet. In 2019, I purchased Lot 71 in the Meadows at Oak Grove's first filing, which is adjacent to the subject property located 17378 Foxglove Avenue. When I made this purchase, I expected the property owners and builders to comply with Ascension Parish Development Codes and parish building codes and regulations in order to keep our property values high. When someone's property and/or additions are in violation of code and/or regulation, property values will substantially diminish. This deliberate code violation of extending the patio cover closer to the property line not only makes the value of others' properties diminish in value, the buildings are not uniform from an aesthetic aspect. The subject property has a small amount of common ground behind it, but the backyard can be seen easily from Sawgrass Trail. The patio cover is an eyesore being so close to the back property line and road. If this addition would have been completely contained in the backyard and not visible from the road, it would be a different situation. We have building setbacks to keep these types of things from happening. The hardship complained is completely self-created. According to the email that the builder received on 8/14 regarding project number 110473, he was put on notice not to encroach in the rear setback of 20 feet, and construction was started anyways. Notice was given prior to work beginning when the permit approval email was received. There is no evidence that a variance is necessary for the reasonable use of land. At this point, plans should be reviewed and modified to comply with the Ascension Parish Development Code setback requirements. In addition to the diminished property values, what effect will this violation have on the drainage for the adjacent property owners and the neighborhood? As you can see, the neighbor approval letters for variance request petition. The petition has signatures of neighbors agreeing to a 2-foot variance. However, the documents filed with the parish is requesting a 3-foot variance. With that discrepancy, the petition signatures would be invalid since no one on those lists agree with the 3-foot variance being granted. Not only that, but the signatures on this list, one of which is his daughter that lives 6/10 of a mile away, are not from the adjacent property owners, but from others in the neighborhood, and that would not be directly affected by this deliberate code violation.
Thank you.
Oh, no one else signed up.
Okay, we'll close the public comment. Questions, comments, motions?
Yeah.
Y'all want to step back up? We have a question for you, please.
The 2 versus 3, is that the slide versus the overhang, maybe?
So we're 7 inches to the back post,
Okay.
and then the overhang is the remaining part.
So I'm saying that within that,
Really,
that
2.5.
overhangs within that 3?
It's 2.5 feet. We just
Okay.
raised it up just to make sure if they ever put a gutter or anything,
Yeah,
it would cover it.
okay. Oh, did you deliberately do this?
No,
Absolutely
No, we would not. We've been
I just wanted to say that out loud.
trying not to.
Did y'all just go out there and measure with a tape and measure wrong, or, I mean,
No,
Didn't hire a surveyor, obviously.
One back there, I'm picking, that was gonna be my other question. You're aware there's a 20-foot setback across all lots in the parish, generally, residential lots?
Yeah.
And then the stuff behind you is green space. It's non-buildable, right?
Was it detention or just green
It's
space?
just green.
No, it's just green space.
There's a sidewalk back there that goes along his 6-foot fence, I'm assuming,
Yeah.
6 or 8.
6 or 8 foot fence?
I think it's 6. I'm driving by.
6'6".
See? Not that it matters, I was just wondering.
I'm short, it look 8 to me.
You short, they all look 8, huh?
They all look 8.
I hear you.
Anybody else? In general, it's just a hangout, right?
Yeah,
You're
mainly.
not closing in, no structure, no living, just
Yeah,
open
open air.
living,
Yes, sir.
outdoor living, whatever it's called.
Any other questions? Any motions?
One more, let's do
Okay.
it. She said drainage. Is it messing with any drainage? There's no drainage back
No,
there.
there's no drainage.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Motion accepted by Brian,
I second.
second by Eddie. All in favor? Any opposed? The variance is granted.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. Honest mistake. So the next one. So as I stated before, item C has been pulled. Next, we have item 8, a public hearing to approve or deny the following zoning review ID PZ 3726.25, track Y for conditional use permit for telecommunications tower appeal for Baker Donaldson on behalf of AT&T. Yes. Yep. Mr. Willie needs to speak. All right.
Yes, due to my current position on the school board, I'll be recusing myself from coming and voting on this matter.
Okay, thank you, Willie.
Thank you.
Okay, you have the floor.
All right, thank you. Chip Lyons, 201 St. Charles Avenue, New Orleans, Louisiana, here on behalf of AT&T. AT&T is seeking, conditional use, approval with one waiver for the construction of a 125-foot monopole telecom tower at this location. And I'll put this up so you guys can see it. The tower is required in order to address existing data, in order to improve data coverage and capacity in this area. So the existing, and this is basically a coverage map produced by AT&T's network engineers. This shows existing coverage in the area. The blue symbols are existing towers or other antennas. The different colors on the map, red indicates in-building coverage, which is best level of coverage. Yellow indicates in-car coverage, that probably if you're in a car, you would have an okay signal. Green is basically you would only have coverage if you were outdoor and not in a building. So again, red is the best level of coverage, followed by yellow, and then followed by green. So this is the existing, what the area looks like without the proposed tower. You've got, according to the maps, probably not much in-building coverage. You've got some outdoor coverage, and you've got some in-car coverage. This is what the improved coverage that you get in red if the tower is constructed in this area. In terms of the actual location of the towers, this is a network, so the towers have to communicate with each other. If the towers are too close together, you get signal interference. If they're too far apart, you get dropped calls. So that's why when AT&T identifies an area that needs additional coverage, they have search consultants who go out there. The AT&T network engineering provides them what's called a search ring. It's usually just about a half-mile radius. It's pretty small because they're trying to address a specific coverage need or capacity need in a certain area. So they look in this area, they examine zoning when they go look, they have to find a willing property owner, they have to find a site that works where it's kind of like a Goldilocks analogy, right? Can't be too close, can't be too far away from existing antennas or other towers. So this location was determined to be optimum for providing that additional coverage and capacity for data service in the area, and this shows what the coverage and capacity would look like if the new tower is constructed there. Just in terms of some of the engineering issues that are dealt with, your phone is a mini computer, right, which with incredible capacity, but the signal that goes to it is a radio signal, and those radio signals get blocked by buildings, elevators, existing wooded areas. So that's why that explains the need for putting the tower at that specific area. AT&T, in addition to its network engineers identifying coverage issues in this area, there have been, they've received a number of complaints from customers because of coverage problems in the area. So the tower, if located in this area, would address those coverage needs, both for residents in the area, for schools, for citizens in the area, from and I'll get to this in a minute again, but from a public safety perspective, most people now do not have traditional landlines. If you are calling 911 from inside your house, you want to make sure you have sufficient bars on your phone to make that call and have the call go through. And whether you're working from home, studying from home, whatever it is, demand for data and consumption of data increases essentially exponentially each year, and that's what the carriers are trying to keep up with. On this particular tower, it would be a 125-foot monopole. AT&T's equipment would be at the top, and there would be room on there for 2 additional carriers if they chose to co-locate their equipment on that tower. With regard to this tower, the zoning in this area permits it. If we get conditional use approval, that's what we're requesting. The one waiver that we're asking for is set forth in the parish's telecom ordinance. The telecom ordinance is the part of the zoning code that refers to tall structures. I'll just refer to it as telecom ordinance for ease of reference. The requirement in the telecom ordinance is that a tower has to be tower height plus tower height plus 30 feet from any residence or structure. This tower is 125 feet, plus 30 feet means it has to be 155 feet from any residence or structure in the area. The only residences or structures in the area that are within that 155-foot radius are a mobile home and 2 greenhouses on our landowner's property. So whether you're going to the subdivision to the east or the school to the west, there are no other residences or structures within that 155-foot area. So that's the only waiver or variance that we're requesting in connection with this application is from structures on our landowner's property.
I did read that, and I had a question. I couldn't tell exactly. Does that 155 feet fall short of the road, or how does it go with that Dutchtown Road?
The 155 feet I'm looking at, the 155 feet is...
I know it says only structures and whatnot, but
the 155 feet, I'm looking at a site plan that was in the drawings that we submitted, and it appears to me that the 155 feet does not affect the road.
Okay.
So
that's the same assumption I came up with, but I wasn't certain. That's why I asked you if you knew
Yeah.
for sure, but
it appears to me from looking at the site plan that it's short of the road. Because location of, and this is the way that the tower setback requirement is addressed in the parish zoning code is not unusual for zoning codes where when the zoning code was drafted, there's an assumption that if a tower is going to come down, it's going to come down like a tree. So the requirement here is tower height plus 30 feet as sort of a buffer zone. The way towers are designed, specifically monopoles like this, the way they're designed now is first, there's a substantial concrete subsurface foundation. You have foundation drawings, you have these produced by an engineer, everything is done to code, whether it's wind loading, foundation, everything is done to code pursuant to stamped drawings by an engineer. There are, in this area and wherever you go, you're going to see utility poles lining the road. Those utility poles are built to standards that the utility companies adhere to. Those utility poles and overhead lines, to my knowledge, are not done pursuant to stamped engineer drawings with the concrete subsurface foundation. This is a steel structure with a concrete foundation, so it is designed to and built to a much higher standard than utility poles that surround the area, because just like you have to have electric poles, you also have to have cell towers now. When it's designed, engineers design it so that it has what's called a fail point at an upper level of the tower. So it's intentionally designed with a point in the upper part of the tower where if the wind load exceeds what it's designed for, and this usually doesn't happen, but if it does happen and the wind load exceeds what it's designed for, the tower will bend over and stay in what the engineers describe as a permanently deformed state, as opposed to the tower coming down like a tree. So we have submitted a signed letter from an engineer stating that the tower design will be to that effect, so that the tower is essentially designed with a 0-foot fall radius. So in the unlikely event that there is some type of structural problem with the tower, it's designed to bend but not to break.
So basically, it's built with a weak link in it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
In terms of the specific criteria in the parish's telecom ordinance, we think that there are general standards for conditional use that are in section, looks like T3 of the telecom ordinance. Those standards generally deal with inhabited structures where people are coming in and out. This is an unmanned structure. There'll be people in there to build it, but after that, just periodic maintenance. A lot of it is done via drone now. So this is an unmanned structure. It doesn't have a lot, it won't have the adverse traffic, noise, light, other type impacts that are usually considered in connection with the conditional use. So we think we meet the criteria set forth in T3 of the telecom ordinance as to general standards for conditional use. There are also more specific standards addressed in subsection U of the telecom ordinance, and we believe that we meet those as well. The first standard that's addressed there is that the permit, if granted, will not cause any diminution or depreciation of property values of any surrounding property, or will not alter the essential character of the locality. With regard to property values, we hired a licensed appraiser who inspected the property, inspected other similar properties in Ascension Parish. He produced a valuation report. We've submitted that with our materials. And the licensed appraiser says, after specifically looking at this property and other similarly situated towers and properties in the parish, the conclusion of the report and their supporting information in the report is that, based on our research, it is our professional opinion that the proposed structure will have no discernible negative impact on the values, marketability, or the rates of appreciation of properties in the surrounding area. So again, in order to address and meet that criteria, we specifically obtained a valuation report from a licensed appraiser, and he concluded that the tower will not cause a diminution or depreciation of property values. I don't think, and I think our position also is that having a cell tower in a developed area that's got plenty of existing utility poles and other utility services is not going to alter the essential character of the locality. Cell towers are around, and they're a necessary infrastructure investment for that support the community, so we don't think that this would alter the essential character of the locality. One thing I neglected to mention previously is that the tower, when it's designed, is designed to comply. I mentioned that it's a radio signal, so the radio, it's called radio frequency emissions, RF, is the signal that comes from the antenna. That is regulated by the FCC. The Parish Telecom Ordinance says that, and I can quote you, the Parish Telecom Ordinance specifically says that the tower must be designed to be in compliance with current radio frequency emission standards of the Federal Communication Commission. That's in the Parish Telecom Ordinance. FCC regulates it. We've submitted a letter to that effect. The tower will be designed to comply with FCC requirements on radio frequency emissions. That's who regulates it. And of course, AT&T or whoever else goes on the tower is going to comply with those requirements. That's who grants their license. They're going to comply with the requirements. So that brings me back, and I'm just about finished. That brings me back to the criteria in the conditional use standards. In the telecom ordinance, a permit, if granted, will tend to preserve and advance the property and general welfare of the neighborhood and community. So it's, you know, the tower is not going to be adverse to the general welfare of the community. It is going to provide a needed service, which is additional data service capacity coverage in this area, which addresses is both a public safety requirement and just sort of a day-to-day requirement of our, you know, of living in the 21st century, essentially. Finally, the last criteria deals with the conditional use not being detrimental to public welfare, which we've discussed, and then talks about it will not impair adequate supply of light, air, increase congestion, traffic hazard, et cetera. Those, again, are more criteria that deal with an active use like a business or a bar or a store, as opposed to a passive use, which is an unmanned cell tower. So we think respectfully that we meet all those criteria, and on that basis would again respectfully ask for your support of our application, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
I have a question for you. I think I read in here, I wasn't sure. This is an unlit tower, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
The
yeah.
FAA doesn't require lighting below 200 feet or something?
That's exactly correct. Yeah, this is
Okay.
125 feet.
I didn't know that. I made it
Yeah,
up. So I
Yeah,
just
no,
happened
that's,
to be
no,
right.
but that's right. That's the exact right number. It's 125 feet with a 4-foot lightning rod. An FAA requirement only requires the tower to be lit if it's above 200 feet. And I guess under certain circumstances, if you're close to an airport,
Yes. Right.
it might be a little bit different, but generally speaking, it is a 200-foot cutoff, so this tower would not be lit.
Okay. Any other questions?
Does anyone live in that
Wait,
mobile
wait,
home?
wait.
The property owner is here. I do not know if that mobile home is there anyone living in the mobile home? No. Okay,
It didn't look like it.
yeah.
Just
Well, I wasn't sure.
had to ask,
I
though.
wanted to ask,
Yeah.
but yes, sir.
Hold on, Eddie. Let me turn your mic on. There you go.
How many towers does AT&T have in Ascension Parish?
Um,
Are you familiar?
I do not know off the top of my head how many towers it has or how many it's located on. Sometimes AT&T builds towers. Sometimes if there's another tower where they can co-locate their equipment, they just put it on there. I would imagine they've probably got, you know, a dozen, several dozen, you know, antennas in different locations in the parish, either on towers or on buildings where those are available, but I do not know the exact number.
Okay.
Any other questions, full public comment? Okay. Go wait.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we'll ask you to have a seat, and we're gonna open it up for public comment. Well, you wanna read those first, or you wanna,
Well, I don't have any to read,
none
but I
to
do
read?
have, yes.
Okay, go ahead and call them out.
I have Mr. Ted Hullum. He wishes not to speak, and he is against the zoning commission's decision to deny the conditional use. I have Mr. Craig Kraft, and he wishes to speak, and he is for the zoning commission's decision to deny the conditional use.
Okay, Mr. Kraft, you step up to the mic, you have 3 minutes to,
And Mr. Kraft did submit some things, if y'all would like to see them.
Say is just in that.
okay,
I'll put it in the minutes.
okay. Let's step up to the mic, we'll give you 3 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna talk fast.
Okay.
So what's interesting to me is all the documents that AT&T put, this road that the Dutchtown School used for carpool is not identified or mentioned anywhere in there. And you can see that that 155
Chair,
foot
Chair,
completely
we
covers
need to
that
be
road.
able to hear him on TV as well.
Oh, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
so it's not, none of the documentation shows this
Speak into the mic. Yep, there you go.
None of the
Thank you.
documentation shows this carpool road that was constructed over a year and a half before they submitted their proposal. This road is constantly used by children and parents dropping their kids off. You can see here, this picture was taken where there's a Pee Wee football team that practices and plays games here, cars here. These are 2 storage buildings that are here. Those aren't identified. All of this is over a year and a half before they submitted their proposal. It's not in their drawings. Their drawings show an abandoned car and clotheslines, but it doesn't show that road over a year and a half. So he mentioned the development code property value. In that, you show the HUD has a document that makes appraisers show or identify if there's a tower there for nuisance and hazard. So that tells me that it does. I'm an adjacent property owner also to this, and I'll tell you, I wouldn't have bought that house if it was underneath that cell tower. So I don't believe that it won't affect the property value. Welfare in the neighborhood, that goes to that piece. Traffic hazard, I know he says it's not gonna be done, but the whole time they're doing that construction, that's a small little 2-lane road there that people use to get their kids back and forth to school. That's gonna be a problem. Fire, there's I think it's 350 gallon diesel tank, high-powered electricity. It's gotta be a fire hazard. Matter of fact, if you look at the thing, it's posted, part of the signs. Drainage, it's not mentioned in there, but the drainage that goes down that property line for the school board, that is not just runoff drainage. That connects to the Dutchtown, that adjacent neighborhood has a MODAD sewer system, and that's gray water that goes through there. So anything that bothers that then backs that up and causes a problem. Public safety, the F in that use is serious annoyance to adjoining permit. I'm telling you, it's gonna annoy the heck out of me. I was on Channel 2 with Brittany Weiss. I've got AT&T, she shows my phone, I got full bars. So there's not an issue that we need this. School board also.
Okay, your time is up.
Last year's not gonna talk, but they put in a,
Your 3 minutes is up.
I'm sorry, but the resolution came in from the school.
Thank you.
All right, Edwin Sedetall, they do not wish to speak, and they are for the zoning commission's decision to deny the conditional use. Joan Sedetall, they do not wish to speak, and they are for the zoning commission's decision to deny the conditional use. Marty Bourgeois, they do not wish to speak, and they are for the zoning commission's decision to deny the conditional use. Alexis Papazan, they wish not to speak, and they are for the zoning commission's decision to deny the conditional use. And James Flanagan, they wish not to speak, and they are for the zoning commission's decision to deny the conditional use. And Pamela Bernard, and they wish not to speak, and they are for the zoning commission's decision to deny the conditional use. And that's all, no one else signed up.
Okay, we'll close public comment. Question, Mr. Eddie?
Sir, how long would the construction take?
Speaking of Mike.
I'm sorry, how long would the construction take for the tower?
Yeah, I don't know specifically. I think from the time a permit's issued and they're on site, I think they usually get these towers put up within the matter of weeks. I mean, probably, I would say 1 to 2 months maximum is my best guess. If they do it a lot, they have to put the foundation in, the tower's prefab, it comes in, they assemble it on site, the tower's there, then separately, they'll come out and attach the antennas to the tower. But again, that gets done pretty quickly, and those just come in, I think, on a flatbed and are just lifted up onto the tower.
Would the entire road have to be closed for that process?
I think that they would, I don't know if they would even have to close Dutchtown Road. I mean, they presumably would have to if they're bringing in heavy equipment or a truck, but that would be, I think, a temporary closure at best. And they're building an access road on the property from Dutchtown Road, so presumably that's going to be their staging area. But I don't have specifics on how much, if Dutchtown Road would be temporarily blocked or not while they're bringing in heavy equipment.
Yes, sir.
Question, Lance, that's a public road?
Yes, sir, that's a public road.
Okay.
Yeah. And just quickly in response, the shot that I'm looking at from the site plan, it shows some of the roads that are on the adjacent property that's owned by Dutchtown School. And we understand that those roads are in use, that they're not specifically surveyed on here because it's adjacent property. Those aren't public roads, but we understand that they are in use.
Would you like to respond to any of the concerns that were brought up, maybe?
I think that the general response is that we were aware of the neighbors' concerns, and we've tried to respond directly to them in the materials that we submitted, both through the property valuation study, through the design of the tower, through obtaining a zero foot fall radius design for this tower. The tower, the tower will be visible. We're not, you can't make them not visible, but there is existing sort of wooded area that helps screen it. It's designed to meet the parish criteria to have a fence around the equipment. There will be a backup generator there, but again, everything is designed. Those are generally not at grade, they're elevated and designed to withstand, and the companies have, frankly, sort of learned the hard way in being in South Louisiana, what works and what doesn't work in this area. And so they've, I think, designed these to be as storm-proof as possible. This is just from my personal knowledge, but in terms of, towers like this, after Katrina, there was one in the 9th Ward that came down because it was taken out by the barge that breached the flood wall there and caused the flooding of the 9th Ward. And I've checked with the company, not aware of there being issues with monopoles of this design in any of the storms that have unfortunately hit South Louisiana over the past however many years it's been.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Absolutely.
Lance, with the exception of that waiver for the mobile home being within the 155 feet, there any other
No, sir.
issues?
No. That's the only waiver that they're requesting.
I got you. I can certainly be sympathetic to, not wanting something unsightly in your backyard. I get that.
On the same token, you and I both live in a subdivision where there's 6 towers that you can see from our backyard.
Right.
And we sell lots for $150,000. So, I mean, there's that to deal with. And the road issue, I mean, that's a public road. To me, it's for everybody in the public to use, including people that need to do construction. I understand it's probably going to be a bit inconvenient, but it's probably going to be a lot inconvenient for them. And hopefully, as a contractor, Brian, you can back me up probably on this. As a contractor, you're not going to schedule a delivery at 7 o'clock when you know they're taking in school. No. Because your truck will be sitting on the side of the highway for 2 hours.
I wouldn't.
Right. So there's that. Devin?
I got the other way then. One, I know it's an appeal, so y'all don't y'all got a decision on it? None at all, okay. I understand the structures, not property lines, but, you know, my neighbor, one of the beauties of our ordinance that we usually grant is that we don't let people put anything 5 feet near somebody's property line because we don't want to affect them. This could potentially affect the school's property, which is the public's property, even though it belongs to the school board, and the neighbor's property. Even though the landowner does own the mobile home, I don't agree with that. I mean, even if it's empty or whatever, I wouldn't do a waiver, I'd force removal of the mobile home and removal of the greenhouses, because that's within the ordinance. There's no real hardship here, that's not what we're doing. We're doing appeals, but there's no hardship for me here. I have AT&T, y'all suck every now and then, y'all are beautiful every now and then. I don't think y'all are bad there. I eat at Griffin Grill, I went to Dutchtown High School, we had service, now that was 20 years ago. I'll go with the argument, as a real estate broker, I don't deal with a lot of houses, I deal with more land, people hate me for that part. But I can say everything that y'all cited in this binder, which is fabulous, and took about an hour to go through, real fast. But every one of those scenarios that y'all use where a tower's near a neighborhood, the tower generally existed prior to the person. So the person bought the backyard knowing that there's an ugly tower in the backyard. Now, I'm gonna use the word ugly, that's my opinion, but the adjective fits. The sheriff just put an ugly tower in Prairieville. Every time I go down Old Jefferson Henry Road, I hate that it's there. But, and I don't like horizon pollution. You know, when Gonzalez tried to do a sign ordinance a couple of years ago, that didn't work out. As far as light poles, those are made out of trees, they break, we get that, South Louisiana. But no, these folks have lived in this area. One gentleman talked about the view, you know, Ms. Craig. So I understand that. If I buy a house and I want to go, oh, beautiful horizon, unless my neighbor plants a tree and it grows over 30 years, I can't do anything about it. But we can do something about that. And as servants of the people, I think that's important. I'm not running for office or anything. I'm not saying that for any reason like that. I'm just saying our job is to serve the people. That's why we voluntarily joined this board, and I think a decade now for me, and Willie much longer, but even though he's not in the situation. So I do understand that it's a necessary evil to have these things up, but if I can prevent it from ruining someone's house, I would agree. I do sell real estate. I 1,000% agree that if a cell phone tower was put up 150 feet away from my house, I'd be a little upset about it. And I understand that it's about structures and not property lines, but if it falls on my property line, I'm a little upset about that as well. So everything I said probably shows you how I'm gonna vote, but I'm trying to go through all my notes. I know the fail-safe, I respect the engineering. The waiver is one thing, I would say remove mobile home. I don't think there's a good hardship for there. And then it's near a school. I don't have children, but I tell you what, I think schools should be the thing we protect, schools, you know, any government situation, that ability. So again, going back to real estate, I'm not trying to be your realtor. There are several spots that are actually zoned commercial in this area that might fit this better, but being in people's backyards may not be the right location, and being adjacent to a school may not be the right location. And I understand maybe Friday nights are where you lose your signal at the Dutchtown schools, or, you know, the 6 o'clock, everybody's on 73 because the state doesn't know how to build roads for us properly. But near a school, yeah, near people's neighborhoods, homes and all that they bought, we can prevent it, I'll prevent it. So that's my argument, or statement, not argument. I wouldn't want one in the middle of my neighborhood. I don't think you would either. I wouldn't want one in the middle of my neighborhood. I'd fight like hell to stop it.
I mean, I think that, again, from, and I think you sort of addressed some, you know, some of the issues. You mentioned that the setback requirement is from structures, it's not from property line. We meet those criteria. We meet the criteria set forth in the telecom ordinance, and, you know, to your point that, you know, everyone needs coverage, right? And everyone needs coverage, and when the companies come in and try and locate these towers, they do it based on the rules as they exist in the jurisdiction. And so they look at zoning, they try and find a place that works. The carriers they're not a utility where they can just go take property. They can't build this in the public right-of-way pursuant to a franchise agreement. So they have to find a site that works from an engineering perspective, from a network perspective, and based on based on the network requirements in this area, based on available property, based on finding a willing property owner, based on the pre-existing size of this lot, not created by AT&T, this tower fits on this property with the only waiver requirement being the structures that are currently on the property. So based on that, we're respectfully of the opinion that we meet the criteria for the necessary approvals.
Let me ask this question about I lost your name again, Craig?
Craig.
What's the last name, though?
Correct.
Kraft. The 2 storage buildings he's talking about, from your knowledge, do they exist? Are they there on the school's property, temporary storage or permanent storage? I'm not
I
sure.
did not hear, so I heard,
Well, no, I'm sorry, Mr. Kraft. I got to go to him. It's a question for him. I apologize.
yeah.
It's for you to answer.
Yeah, I was not, we did not see, we're not aware of, I know, I heard Mr. Kraft mention the drive that's used for carpool, and there are 2 existing sort of greenhouse-type structures on our landowner's property. I don't have anything showing existing structures on the
That's okay.
school property.
We got to address this way, though, for rules. I'll ask Lance if you don't mind. Do you know if those 2 buildings exist or what their purpose is?
No, I don't. I saw the driveway, but, I mean, he has something showing aerial of it, but
Yes, sir.
when I went out there I didn't notice any buildings there.
Yeah, I was just curious.
I did notice the driveway, though.
Yes, sir. And then I'll go, the other argument, and I think I'm already showing where I'm going to vote on this. Our school board they're very good stewards of their money, but that property is going to be valued to us at one point since all these real estate agents keep selling houses to new homes, to developers. Smiling because that's my job. And we're going to probably need that. So in any future, whether it's 5 years or 10 years, the school board may need to utilize that. Your tower's within their fall range if they were to build 5 feet off the property line, for instance. So I'm looking at it from protecting the property taxes of a different government entity as well. So just give me that. If they ever decide they need to build a building there.
But there's nothing, if the tower's approved on this property, there's certainly nothing that would prevent the school board from building on the
You're right.
adjacent property.
Except the
as
tower
long
falling
as-
on the building.
Well, but, I mean, which is, and I tried to address this earlier, which is, I think, in terms of weather events in, south
I
and
understand
southern
that.
Louisiana, the poles that come down are utility poles, wood utility poles, sometimes others, and it is just because of engineering standards that the towers are held to, that fortunately has not been an issue.
I respect the engineering. I always say the biggest word in the dictionary is the word if. If the airplane hits a tower in New York, it wouldn't fall. So. I'm not trying to be very one-sided on this, I'm just telling you. I have heard it from the WBRZ thing, and I watch all these government meetings for some reason. I have a fascination for keeping up.
That's a good thing.
Thank you.
If anybody, I'll make my motion, but
There's not a motion. It's just a vote.
yeah, okay.
So whenever y'all ready to
So-
vote, when y'all done asking questions, we
May I do
just
this?
gotta vote.
Spencer, can a vote for is,
Well, I mean, we need to clarify what y'all voting on. Either to uphold the decision of the zoning commission or to overturn the decision of the zoning commission.
so for clarity.
So I think a motion would be sufficient, like, we need to do a motion so we know what y'all voting on.
Spencer, I have a question. So if it was voted for, would somebody be able to reside in that property, in that trailer, on that land?
If y'all grant the variance,
Would they be able to?
yes,
They would?
yes.
I would have a problem with that.
Spencer, would you mind clarifying exactly what zoning voted on last? It was denial of the special use, correct?
Conditional use.
Conditional use.
They
Conditional
denied
use.
the conditional use
Did that
permit.
conditional use have the mobile home in it, or was it just for the tower?
No, they were requesting, to be able to keep the structures.
Okay. And a vote to uphold it is to vote against this being constructed, correct?
Yeah, and that's why a motion would be
Yeah.
good, just so, a motion to, approve the zoning commission's denial or to overturn the zoning commission's denial of the conditional use permit.
Okay.
I'll 100% make it if, I would make a motion to uphold the zoning commission's.
Wait.
Go ahead.
I don't think we're done discussing.
Okay.
Which, Brian, do you have any other feedback?
No, I mean, I'm a little sympathetic to the eyesore, but in the way our codes are written, if it meets all of the requirements, you know, I think that's something that we need to change, needs to be changed there, you know?
Well, that's a part of the special condition or whatever. I mean, that's not within the requirement. Would I be wrong to say if it was within a requirement, we wouldn't be here right now talking about it? Spencer?
Well, it's a conditional use, so it's, the cell tower is not permitted in this zoning district, but we are allowed to have them through this conditional use permit.
But it has to be an approved conditional use by the board.
It has to be, yeah, typically that's the zoning board, but they do have the right to appeal it, and y'all are the appeals board for zoning.
Any other questions, comments before Devin makes his motion?
My only concern is someone living on their property with it, to be honest with you.
Do you know if that mobile home is inhabitable? Does it have electricity?
Um,
It is not livable.
Okay.
So, I mean,
My
in cer-
daughter died and it was hers, and we just haven't been able to do anything about it.
Just hadn't been able to afford to tear it down?
Correct.
So you can make a motion, I mean, we can, I think, Lance, make a motion to overturn the appeal with something saying that the mobile home must not be occupied and remove and not replace.
You can put any condition you need on it, as long as it's, you know, it's for the reasons why, you know, safety and those type of things. So, yes, sir.
Yeah, and if I could, yeah, I would offer with the property owner's consent that AT&T would, you know, would remove that mobile home as part of
I
the
would think so.
construction process. Yeah, I mean, it's not, there's a, just, you know, there's an abandoned vehicle there and the mobile home, and I would think that both of those could be removed as part
And
of
the
the
greenhouse is all grown up to,
Yeah.
covered up from what I saw.
That's where Century Parish Shooting Sport started before the subdivision was built.
Okay, so they're not in use either, they're all grown over and about to fall in on themselves. What's that?
They may look bad, but they in good shape.
Oh, okay,
But those are green.
All right, well, that's okay. We don't need to argue, y'all.
okay.
You still want me to go first?
Well.
I'm gonna make a motion to
Anybody
uphold
make-
the zoning board's decision to deny this tower's conditional use and any waiver of structures being within it, within its fall range.
Okay,
Is it good?
I guess.
Is the
So
motion?
a yay would be to uphold,
Yay is a no for the tower, especially.
okay, a yay will be to uphold the zoning, commission's decision. A nay will be to
To go
let them build a
this
tower.
way,
Can I get a second? Substitute motion?
I would substitute it exactly like you said, Steve.
Okay,
If there's no second, then the motion
Yeah,
fails.
let it fail, yeah.
okay,
then you
well,
need to
the
start
motion
over.
fails, so then what we do?
Start over. Someone
Start
else
over.
do a new motion.
I'll entertain a new motion.
Motion to,
Okay, try it again. You want
say, it would be a motion to,
overturn?
overturn, right, based upon, the trailer being, in the trailer of the vehicle and the greenhouses being removed from the property and, you know, not letting anyone, occupy that area as far as, you know, a residence. And I would do that in that case. That would be my motion.
Okay, a motion to overturn the zoning commission's decision. A yea will be to overturn the decision with the condition that the mobile home be removed and the vehicle and,
And just for clarity, Chairman, I think it would be better stated that it is a motion to grant the conditional use on the condition that the mobile home and vehicle and any other structure in the fall zone is removed prior to construction. Does that sound like what you were trying to say, Mr. Krass?
yeah.
Okay.
That's
don't-
that would be the question that I would have also.
The way you worded it, I mean, are they permitted buildings?
I'm not, I don't think so. I don't know if they need to be permitted depending upon what they are.
I may have misunderstood. I thought it was only the trailer and the car that was.
Well, that was the motion, I think, that Eddie made, was the
Okay,
stuff
well
on
then,
that property.
then the better would be to motion to overturn the zoning commission's denial of the conditional use permit, to grant the conditional use permit and have the trailer and car removed from the property prior to construction.
But we don't want anyone living in that, on that property.
Can we word it like that, Ms. Jamaica?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So a yea would be to overturn, a yea would be in favor of the conditional use permit with conditions. Can I get a second?
Can I add to it before? I don't wanna mess with anything,
I don't know.
but, I mean, with his, if Eddie wants to add this, just a thought. And subject to no other structure being placed in the property in the future.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And subject to no other livable structure be placed in the future.
Okay, and just for clarity, so a motion to overturn the zoning commission's denial of the conditional use, to grant the conditional use permit, remove the trailer and the vehicle, and no other structure shall be built on the property. No other,
Inhabitable.
no other inhabitable structure.
Residential. So. Your second?
I'll second.
Second by Brian. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Conditional use permit is granted.
And I think for clarity, can we do the voting machine?
Sure.
Because I'm pretty sure Mr. Robertson did abstain, and it just wasn't clear from the voting just now, so just to make the record clear.
It's not on my screen.
On the little screen.
Oh. We all in? All right. So, again, conditional use permit is granted with conditions. All right, next up tonight, we have any old business?
No, sir.
Any new business?
No, sir.
Besides us saying the Pledge of Allegiance?
That's correct.
At no meetings. Okay. All right. Next, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Motion adjourned by Brian. Second by Eddie. All in favor? Devin, you in favor? All right, make sure you don't want to stay.